YouTube, it's Tracy from Entrepreneur Girl, and today we're going to be talking about step 2 in the process of making an FBA shipment on Amazon. So beside me I have a box of books that I bought at a garage sale that I showed you in the step 1 video. If you remember, we went on a garage sale together. We talked about the types of places that you can go to acquire inventory. We showed you tier 1 and tier 2 and building up your business and getting inventory. And then we brought all the merchandise home and talked about it a little bit. Well, today we're on step 2. So now we have our inventory, and I have beside that a box. These are listed items that's going to Amazon FBA. These are items that are not listed yet, and these are eBay boxes. So anything from Amazon that doesn't have a barcode or is vintage or doesn't have a picture, it's not in the system for some reason, anything that is difficult, I'm just going to go ahead and eBay since I have an eBay business. It's easier for me, and I really don't want to mess up with Amazon FBA. They're more strict on their guidelines, and they're more strict if you make a mistake. So if anything seems out of the ordinary, I will just go ahead and put it in the eBay box. I also have my smartphone that has my Pro Bandit app. We've talked about that before. It's this one right here. And I'm sorry, I said Pro Bandit. It's Profit Bandit. Profit Bandit is $14.99 one-time fee, and I really encourage you to get this. This is what I use. We'll be using it in just a second. And you also need your computer. I'm already on Amazon Seller Central. You can go ahead and put this up on your computer as well. And we're going to walk through adding this inventory into our Amazon page. So I'm on my Amazon page. I've signed in. I've logged in. Up here at the top, this is what it looks like. And I'm going to click on Inventory, Add a Product. Now it's asking me to sign in again. Okay, so Inventory, Add a Product. This is what pops up. Find it on Amazon. I'm going to click in the white box, and I'm going to grab my first item. So here's my first book, and it has, this is a product barcode. This is not the manufacturer's barcode. You can tell that it's underneath. This is a sticker overlying it. So I can't type in the number that I need because this number won't give me the actual book. It will just show up that it's not finding it because this is a store number, not the book number, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have to enter in the title, which is fine. But I have to scroll through. Look at this, 5,169 items. Let's see if we can't narrow that down a little bit. The last name of the author. Here we go. Okay, so that picture looks like my book. And that number, if I can see any portion of the number, which I can, matches that number. So I'm going to click over here on Sell Yours. Now the first thing it asked me for is the condition of my book. So if you look at my book, it's in pretty good condition. There aren't any stains, no tears, rips, spins, creases. You know, I flipped through it. I don't see any highlights or writings. So I'm going to put this at very good. I probably could have almost gone like new. Actually, I might go like new. Like new, you need to make sure your product actually is like new. You don't want anybody to be disappointed with what they get. So I will typically, when in doubt, list very good. But this book really is, I'm fairly confident that it's like new. So I don't feel like I need to leave any other conditions other than that. If you look down here, I have a Word program. I'm going to go ahead and open it. Because what I have done is there's a little blurb that I want on every single listing of mine. And instead of rewriting it over and over again, I saved it as an Amazon description. So I click on that, and I'm just going to highlight it and copy so I can paste it on every listing. And it says smoke-free environment, eligible for Amazon's free Super Saver Prime shipping, 24/7 customer service and package tracking, 100% satisfaction guarantee. So I've copied it so I can close it, and I can go ahead and list it right here in my condition note. There's really nothing else to say because it's like new. My price, this is where Profit Bandit comes in. Profit Bandit, when you first set it up, this button right here is your settings. And this is where you will put that you're an FBA seller type, you're not an independent seller, and you can go through all the listings, but you'll set up how you want it. I want it to be FBA. I click up here at Scan. Okay, my camera comes up. I put my product there. Sorry, it's hard to do at that angle. Oh, silly. It's not coming up because it doesn't have the right barcode. So again, I have to enter this under keywords just like I did on Amazon. Angelina. Okay, but because there's so many items, I have to do the same thing I did by Morton. The last name of the author. Search. Okay, there it is. That's ours. That's the right one. So we click Done. And this is what comes up. It shows me that there are 0 of these on FBA. That's actually really good for me because if somebody wants to buy it on FBA, I'm the only one. It shows how much it's selling for new and how much it's selling for used. If you see, these prices are pretty low. They're like $4. Down here at the bottom under buy price, I have it kind of on default for $1/4 a book. Sometimes I might pay a little bit more, sometimes I might pay a little bit less. I figure it all works out, so I just list each book at $1/4. Now if I sell it, if I click on one of these, $4.99, I'm only going to make 19 cents profit. So my rule, as you saw in my first video, is I try to make $10 of profit on any item I buy for inventory. However, on books, that's sometimes difficult to do. But I still stand by that rule. If I have the opportunity to choose inventory that I can make $10 profit versus inventory that I make 19 cents or $2 on, I'm obviously going to choose the $10 profit. These books I bought at a bookstore that was going out of business. I bought a ton of books in bulk. I got really good prices. So it was a good opportunity for me, even if I get stuck with some of these penny books. But this is good for you to see because you will understand when you hear the term penny book, this is what they're talking about. You're going to make very little money on each book. But say on Amazon, I try not to sell for less than $5.99, and that's because that's about $1 profit for me. If you click on the profit, it will give you a breakdown of all the FBA fees and the shipping fees and everything that it's going to cost you. So $5.99 is the least amount of money I'm willing to list any of my books for. If I can't get $5.99 on Amazon, I'll try eBay or other forums to see if I can't get more. If I was MFN, which just means an independent seller, I would make $1.07 profit. If I'm FBA, I make 91 cents. So I would actually make more money on this book selling it independently than on FBA. So this is all good information. Another thing I'll tell you is on the used, normally you can just about double that on FBA. And since I'm the only book on FBA, I'm going to go in at $7.99, which you might think is a little bit high, but the people that are using FBA typically are willing to pay a higher price. They get free shipping, they trust Amazon shipping and customer service, so they're willing to pay more for that product. So under my Your Price, I'm going to go in at $7.99 since I'm the only one offering it. The only other thing I have to enter in is the quantity. I have only one of these, so I click 1, scroll down. This right here, I want Amazon to ship and provide customer service for the items that they sell. That is what you must click. Once you click that, you don't have to keep clicking it. It just remains the same. I just wanted to point it out to you. So if you look at our page, 4 items is what I had to fill out. Condition, condition note, my price, and my quantity. That is it. The only other thing it's going to ask me is it's going to come up and ask me what shipping plan I want to put this book on. So if you want to create a new shipping plan, if you're just starting your box, you'll do create new, which is right here. Create a new shipping plan, and you can name it anything you want. Or I can add this to an existing plan, which is what I'm going to do because I'm already working on this book. So I'll click on add to an existing plan. I get to choose which plan I want to add it to. And then I click add to shipping plan and continue. And I will keep going through this process now with this box of books. If you see how I have them listed or sitting in here, I have the binding part of the book up against the wall, and that is to protect the inner pages of my books from, getting smushed or mangled up some way during the shipping process. So I have 4 stacks here. I will fill it up all the way to the top, and then I will take the stiff brown paper and I will fill in all of these gaps. So all of the books will fit in here nice and snug. They won't rub against the other piles. And I will just keep going until I fill them up. So here's my next book. It also has a sticker on the back, but I can peel it off easy enough so I can show you the number that I've been talking about. And this is really small. If you look, the number on the very bottom of this barcode is the number that you want to enter in on your add a product on Amazon. Let me show you another book, just because that was such a small example. It is not the ISBN number. No, 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 no. It's this number that's right underneath the barcode. See it there? So I will enter in this number again. Let's walk through one more, okay? Inventory, add a product. We'll see how fast we can do it. Click and find it on Amazon. I'm going to enter my number. That's right below the barcode. That's not the ISBN number. Click enter. We could not find any products. So on this one, again, I will have to enter the name. Sister Light, Sister Dark. I scroll down to find one that matches my cover. $2,149. So I'm not scrolling through all of those. Again, I'll try the last name of the author. Okay, this one matches my cover. This number does not match my number. Okay, remember how I told you at the beginning of the video that if it seemed difficult at all, if the numbers didn't match up or the book picture doesn't match up, or if I have to scroll through, 27,000 listings, I'm just going to simply put this in my eBay stack because it will be easier to list that on my store than to go through this process on Amazon. All right, so we're going to go back up to inventory, add a product, and we're going to try this other book that I showed you the number on that was really small. Again, it is not the ISBN number. Okay, here we go. One that actually worked for us. The picture matches up, and the number matches up. So this is our guy. We want to click Sell Yours. Condition. As you could probably see in the video, it has some water damage on the slipcover. I don't see water damage on the actual book. The page edges look clean. So otherwise, besides this, it looks to be in really good condition. I don't see any pen marks, highlighting. So I'm going to put very good, and I'm going to put water stain on slip cover only, maybe on the back of the slip cover only. And then I'm going to Control V to copy my little blurb about customer service. Actually, I'm on right, otherwise like new. Otherwise like new. Okay, so there we go. My price, we're going to use our handy dandy Profit Bandit. See if you can't just see me do this. If I can get it on the camera better, if it'll even get it with that sticker in the way. Nope. Okay, nope. So we're going to cancel that. Again, we're going to have to enter it in. The Great Physicians RX. Yep, there it is. Done. It's coming up. Okay, there's 7 on FBA. And you can see that the A is average, the little A beside the price, the G is good, VG is very good, and N is new. Since ours is between very good and new, we can kind of see what everybody else is going for. We can see what it's going for. New, this is collectibles, we don't worry about that. So say I click on the $5.99, which is the least that I'm willing to sell it for, gives me $1.03 profit. So I'm going to go in at $6.25 on this book. Quantity 1, because I only have 1. And that's it. Save and finish. It's going to ask me about my product, my shipping plan. I'm going to add to my existing shipping plan, just like we did before, and continue. And then it goes in my completed box. Normally, that's a fast process. We're kind of hitting some bad example books, but it really is really fast. So I'm going to show you how fast I can do it without really walking you through. So I'm going to pick up my book, enter it in 978038552. That's what you get for talking while typing. 9780385521116. Okay, so you're starting now. Now it's going to be fast, I promise. Okay, condition. This is in really good condition. This is like new. I don't need to add any other conditions beside my little blur, which I'm copy and pasting. My price. Going to click my scan button. This one's going to do the trick. I just know it. See that? There it scans really fast. That's how it normally works. My FBAs are going for $6.15, it looks like. There's only 2 out there. So I'm going to go in at 6 1/4. I have 1. So, okay. and save and finish. That's all I have to do. So as you can see, each book really does only take a moment to do. And I put them in my boxes, and once I fill my box, it's time to label. So if you can see on this book, my label. So I'm just going to show you real quick how to do the labels. Okay, so once I enter in all of my information, I'm going to, if you'll look up here, has quantity, prepare products, label products, review shipment, prepare shipment, and summary. So I'm on the set quantity. So if I have one of each of my items, I can just click on this top box and enter 1, and it will put 1s in all of the columns. And since all of my books are individual books, I don't have duplicates of any of my items. These are all the items in my shipment. There's 59 books. I can just click continue. Okay, now we're at the next level. Prepare products. There's no prep required for books, so there's nothing to do. I just click continue. Now label products. So I check all my quantities, I make sure it's right. Who labels them? Merchant, that's all right. I scroll down to the bottom and I click print labels for this page right here. If you see, I use 30 up labels. This is the size. Print labels for this page. I click on it. And it takes a second. There it goes. And this is what it's going to look like on my computer. I click on my print button. I choose my printer and I hit print. One thing I want to tell you about this is when you ship with Amazon, you have to purchase a laser printer if you don't already own one. I owned an inkjet, so I had to buy a laser printer. It was about $99 for me to purchase that, and I had to buy specific labels for my printer. So if you don't have that, Amazon requires it from you, and the reason they require that is because the inkjets will smear and they won't store very long, so they won't store for the year that you need them to. So after I hit print, it'll print, and then I can click continue. Now that when I get my sheet of labels, I simply peel them off the sheet, and I have to cover the barcodes on these. So any book, any barcode that you have has to be covered with your sticker. So this has to be completely covered. If there's any barcode anywhere else, I will also cover that. I have an example here. This book is a library book, and I covered it with a blank label. I put it on top of that, and then the sticker will go completely over this code. And so then I will place them all in here. So after I have put my labels on, I approve my shipment. And it just takes a moment. Here we go. Work on shipment. That's the right shipment. And now you're preparing your shipment to be mailed. Everyone should be small parcel delivery if you just have an individual box, because you don't have a truckload. But so I think that's what you're going to be. Amazon carrier, they use UPS. You get heavily discounted rates with UPS. For example, when my boxes are weighing at about 46 pounds, they're about $14. You cannot be 50 pounds or greater with Amazon. You have to be less than 50 pounds per box, so keep that in mind. So once you put UPS, that's what I use, but you can use other carriers if you want. So here is where you put the dimensions of your box and the weight. Again, you have to be under 50 pounds. Mine are coming right under about 46 pounds. And let's just say, for example, the dimensions are 16 by 14 by 12. So I weigh it, I measure it, and I calculate it. And voila, $14, just like I said, $14.25. If you agree to the terms, you click it and you click accept charges. I'm not going to do that because I'm not prepared to ship this yet. I'm just using it to demonstrate to you. When you accept the charges, Amazon automatically deducts that from your account. So to be an FBA seller, you have to pay $39.99 a month already, and then every time you have a shipping charge, it automatically deducts it from any income that you're making from your items. So it just, compiles everything, profit and loss, on your Amazon statement. Okay, so here we go. Last thing we have to do is print box labels. You can barely see it now, but that'll be bright yellow after you accept the charges. So you will click print box labels, and I always print 2 of these because I like to print up the list. If you go under your shipping plan, it has download your product list, and it will list everything that's in your shipment. I print that out. I print an extra copy of my packing slip, and then I staple them together and I keep it in my files. That way I know who it shipped, what the shipping tracking information was, and what items were in that shipment. It's on the computer, but I just like to have that for record keeping anyway. And so once I do that, print my box labels, I just click complete shipment, and I'm done. My labels will print out. I'll have all my boxes in here and my brown paper, and I will close it up, and I will put my 2 labels on the box away from the sealed center line because Amazon will cut it when they receive it, and you don't want them cutting your labels. I will check my box to see if there's any other barcodes anywhere on it. If it is, I have to cover it or remove the labels. So the only barcodes on my whole box is going to be my UPS label and my Amazon FBA label. And that's it. So this is what you would expect to do in step 2 in listing your Amazon. And as you can see, it really is fairly easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's great. Now following this, there's going to be a bunch of bloopers. And that was on my first 4 boxes. Actually, probably my first 3 boxes. I was a little overwhelmed. It felt like a hard task. Amazon is really, strict on the rules. I printed up everything. There's certain items you can't sell, and I just kind of got overwhelmed and I procrastinated with it. And I didn't want to make a video right off the bat with me trying to figure it out myself. I wanted to feel like I knew what I was talking about before I shared it with you. But I am going to include snippets of those videos so you can see, the reality of it. But I want to tell you, now that I've done it, it doesn't scare me at all. After my first box, I was really confident, and I thought, this is easy. And it was fun. I actually enjoyed it more than listing for eBay. So I did 4 boxes in a weekend. I'm pretty sure I can almost do a box in an hour if I'm not distracted and I'm working really hard. So that's it. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, or comment, and enjoy those bloopers. Bye. Okay, so let's do another one. So I grab my next book. I look at the very bottom number. I enter it in on my Add a Product page. Click Enter. Okay, there's nothing showing on Amazon. So I'm going to try, since that number didn't work, I'm going to try the title. A Little Princess. And I'm just going to scroll down. Okay, now see, this picture matches my picture. I'm going to look at the number and see if that number matches the number on my book. If it doesn't, I don't want to do this. 871. This has 876. So this book looks like it's going to be difficult for me to list. I'll have to scroll through and try to find this exact, my exact book, because what you don't want to do is list a book and have different ISBN numbers or different picture and it not be descriptive of your actual book, because someone's going to get it and it's not going to be what they expected. So if there's anything even a little off, since I'm new at the FBA, I'm not going to mess with it, because I don't want to make anybody mad. I certainly don't want to make Amazon mad, and I sell on eBay, so it's easy for me just to put it in the eBay box and ship it later. So I'm going to grab my next book and I'm going to try it. So we go to inventory, add a product, find it on Amazon. I'm going to type in the number that's there on the very bottom of the barcode. Okay, here we go. Poker for Dummies. It looks like my picture. It has the same number as my book. So I'm going to click Sell Yours. I'm going to glance up here and kind of see what we have as far as new, used books. I'm going to look at the sales rank. And I'm going to look at the list price. I go to condition. Mine has some discoloring on the edges. I have some creasing on the cover, so we're not like new. And I have to decide if we're good or very good. So I'm going to go with good, just because I want people to be happy and not surprised or disappointed. So I'm going to put crease on cover, discoloration on paper edges. And then I'm going to copy and paste my little smoke-free environment, 100% satisfaction guaranteed blurb. Scroll down to the next red asterisk. My price. I want to look on my app again. So I'm going to grab my Profit Bandit. I'm going to click scan. The picture's going to come up. I'm going to scan my book. It comes up, gives me the exact same rank. These are my FBAs, my new, my used. $13.47 for a new one, $4 for a good one. I don't even ship a book FBA unless I can sell it for $6.99. I think since there's only 3, I think I'm going to go ahead and list this one, but I'm definitely going to list it for $6.99. And that is because if you look, if I push on $4, look at my loss, 65 cents. No one wants to sell for a loss. If I'm an independent seller, my loss is 49 cents. So I don't honestly know how they're able to list their books for $4. I only have my purchase price of $0.25 put into this because most of my books I get at garage sales and most of them are $0.25. But I'm not going to sell mine for less than $6.99. So these 2 first books can sell off, and then mine would be next in the row. So I'm going to go ahead and put mine at $6.99. And when we're talking about price, in some of my other videos I've talked about it too, you don't want to be the bottom one, because someone will wonder what's wrong with your product. Most people will not be the most expensive but not choose the least expensive. They choose someone in between because they feel that their product is going to be better and they're only going to pay just a tad more. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to put my next red asterisk. My quantity is 1. I'm going to scroll down. It's Amazon ship. It just stays there unless I move it someplace else. Save and finish. And the last thing I have to do is make sure that add to existing shipping plan. This is going to the shipping plan I want. Add. Done. So just for fun, let's see how fast we can do one. I want to pick a good one. Do you have a good one? Just out of curiosity. Okay, we have a barcode. I'm going to go ahead and scan it with my app. Okay, a couple different options came up. I picked the one that matches what I have. These are the prices I have, the profit I would make. Okay, so here we go. On the computer, inventory, add a product. I'm going to type in my bottom number. There it is. It matches my book picture and my number. Sell yours. I can kind of glance at all the prices. Condition. Mine is not like new. It's got a little, rubbing on it, but otherwise it's in very good condition. So I'm going to type in slight rubbing on edges. I'm going to copy and paste my 100% satisfaction blurb. My price, I'm going to look again at my app. Like new is going for $7.77. I'm going to go in at $7.99. Quantity, I have 1. And save and finish. Only thing left is to make sure it's on my shipping plan. Look how fast that was. And this is only my second Amazon box. So this one's pretty full, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here because you're only allowed to have a 50-pound box. And I will take you to the next step, which is shipping labels. Okay, so I've showed you how to list all your books on Amazon Seller Central, and you place them into a box until you filled up the box. Now we have to weigh the box to make sure we're not over our 50 pounds. If we are, we need to take some books out. But once you've done that and you know the books, that are filling your box and you're ready to ship it, then we need to print labels for them and put labels on them. So we go here to inventory, and we're going to manage our FBA inventory. Now what this does is it accumulates a list of all of the items that I've listed on Amazon FBA. So there's 4 pages because, like I said, I've already mailed off 3 boxes and I have 1 waiting by the door. So I have 4 boxes of material. And I don't want to look through all of that. So what I'm going to do is click on inbound. I click the arrow, and what that's going to do is go ahead and put all the items that are inbound, meaning they've already had shipping labels printed and they're in transit, and it puts them first. So the whole first page has already been shipped. So I'm going to click next. And I look at my inbounds, which are right here, and you can see the ones. I'm looking for zeros because the ones are all inbound. Okay, so page number 2. So I click next. Again, I'm going to look at the inbounds until I see zeros. There we go. So this is where the items start that I've put into my computer, but I haven't shipped off yet. So those should be the books that I've already listed. Since I've printed some labels already and I haven't printed just these labels because I wanted to show you, I'm only looking for these titles. So I'm going to look for the South Beach Diet. And when I find what I'm looking for, which I don't see any on this page, so I'm going to click next. Okay, here's the South Beach Diet. right up here. Now you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to click that, and that highlights the row, and now it's going to print a label for that. So I'll just print, well, let's print a couple more here. It's choosing to see. Okay, choosing to see. All right, so those will be our two demonstrative labels. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the page. And where you see send, replenish inventory, you're going to click go. So it's going to take those two highlighted items. It's asking me about the shipping plan. Actually, I'm going to just click create new so it doesn't confuse it with other titles and therefore confuse you. It's asking us our quantities. I have one of each title, so I click one and it automatically fills in the one. If you look at the top of the screen, we have set quantity, prepare products, label products, review shipment, prepare shipment, summary. These are all steps it's going to take us to. So set quantity, it's asking us how many of each item do you have. You can enter them in individually, or this very top box, if you put 1 in that or 2 or 5, it's going to put that number in every box. So I'm going to scroll down to continue. It's telling me I don't have any prep because it's books, so we don't have any prep. So I click continue. Label products, this is where we want to be. Print labels for this page. It asks me the type of labels. 30 up labels, 1 by 2 5/8. I'll show you the package here in a second. That's the one I have. So I'm going to go ahead and click print labels for this page. It put it down here on my computer. That's what they look like when they pop up on the screen. And I want to print. So I click print. You have to buy a laser printer to do labels for Amazon because the labels on a laser printer last longer and they don't smudge. So I had to buy a laser printer because my inkjet wouldn't work for this. So I bought it for about $99. About the cheapest one I could find, and I'm printing it to my label right now. So we'll go ahead and walk in here together. This is all my books I have to list. This is my label printer. You can see they just came out. I have a Brother HL227 0DW. So far I like it. This is what my label sheets look like. This is how they print it out. And these are the types of labels that I purchased. For a laser printer, this is the size. That is the number. That is my laser printer. That is my color printer. I still use that for my eBay packing slips and just about everything else. I try to use this one only for the labels, but it's nice to have a backup printer anyway. All right, so we're going to take our labels. You can see them. And we're walking back to our box. I grab my book, choosing to see. I always wipe off the books before I send them. And there's the barcode. The barcode has to be completely covered by the label. Okay, so I'm going to take my label off. Choosing to see. I make sure it matches the title of my book. It does. I want to make sure that the barcode is completely covered. If there were any other barcodes anywhere on this book, even if it was like a library barcode, any barcode at all, I would have to cover with one of my blank labels. I would just peel it off and stick it right there on the book. All right, so we have one more label for the South Beach diet. Again, I would wipe off any dirt. There's my label. I can either peel off this old sticker. They have chemicals for that too. That makes it easier. I'm gonna leave mine on and try to partially cover it up with nice white stickers, completely covering the barcode. Making sure the title matches, the barcode matches, no other barcodes anywhere on the book. So now here we have it, our books. We've labeled them all with our labels. We place them in our box. I like to place them, the binding against the box. That way the individual pages don't get ripped or smushed or bent. And then that's how I would do the whole box. I would put all the binders against the edge of the box, nice and tight. You know, we might be able to do 4 columns like this. So I have 4 rows of books. They've all been labeled. Oh, that's a perfect example. See, that barcode is from a library. I would cover that up with one of my blank stickers. So I'll go ahead and do that just to show you what I'm talking about. Let me get it straight. No more barcode. Okay. So I would just keep it like this, and I would stack them up to the top, and then I would put brown paper in between all the creases so the books are tight in here. They won't move. They won't rub against each other. And you no longer are required to have packing slips that go in here. The barcodes are all you need. Fill it up with your paper, and then you would close up your box. And I'll show you what an officially closed up box looks like. Here we go. This is the one I did this morning. As you can see, it's going to Amazon. Amazon. There's 2 stickers. You put them on the side of the box. You don't want them here where they're going to cut the box open. One of them is your UPS, and one of them is your shipment ID for Amazon. So you have 2 stickers on your box. So how do you get those stickers? Well, back to our computer. Okay, so we finished with our labels, and now we are ready to package up the box. We have our books in it, we have our brown paper in it, we've sealed up the box, and now we just need to ship it. So you see that we have review shipping contents, shipping service. You're going to be small parcel delivery because you're a box. Unless you are a truckload, or a pallet, you're going to want to put the small parcel delivery. Then you choose the shipping carrier. Amazon's partnered carrier is UPS, so they give really heavily discounted rates. You can use other carriers, but I would suggest using UPS because the rates are really reasonable. Then I'm going to go to number 3, shipment packing. My box, I have 1 of them. The weight of my box is 46, remembering that it has to be below 50. My box dimensions are 16 by 14 by 12, length, width, and height. And when you enter those dimensions in, there's going to be a calculate button here. And you click on calculate, and this number is going to come up. So it was $14.25 for me to ship this box. If I agree to the terms, I'm going to click this box, and that's going to make this box right here, accept charges, bright yellow. I don't want to click on this yet because I'm not ready to ship this. I just want to show you how to do it. So I will click this box. This turns bright yellow. I click accept charges. Now I scroll down and it says number 5, shipping labels. Right here, print box labels. This is going to be bright yellow. I'm going to click print box labels. My computer is going to pop up another screen so I can click which printer I want to send it to, my inkjet or my LaserJet. It doesn't matter on these. I click whichever one I want. I print 2. one that I can keep for my own records and one that's going to go on the box. And then over in the corner at the bottom, complete shipment. That turns bright yellow. I click that and I am done. The labels print on my printer and I'm ready to put them on my box and send it to the UPS store or have UPS do a pickup at my house. Oh my gosh. These are all the books that I'm trying to send to Amazon, and I'm so overwhelmed, I don't want to do it. I'm entering in all of these books, one by one, into the computer. This is going to take a while. Putting the labels on all of the books now, being careful to do it just right because I'm nervous. We are preparing our first Amazon box. It's nerve-wracking and exciting all at the same time. Look at this, it's perfect. Had one mix up, but I found the book, so it was good. Just kind of freaked me out for a minute, but yay, just gotta seal it up now. Look, our first Amazon FBA box done, wrapped. Isn't it beautiful? It's like my first baby going off to college. So we're done. We did it. We did the first box. Here they are, the first 3 Amazon FBA shipments going to the UPS store. Yay!